The flash of cameras should have been the highlight of my graduation day. Instead, they captured the moment my sister destroyed my life. I'm Scarlett, and until 10 minutes ago, I was about to graduate summa cum laude with a degree in behavioral psychology. My thesis on cognitive patterns in childhood trauma had earned me distinguished honours and a potential fellowship. Now, I'm standing frozen on stage while security guards try to restrain my sister Penelope, who's screaming accusations into a microphone she grabbed from the dean. She stole my research. That thesis is mine. Every word, every conclusion. She took it from my computer while I was sleeping. The auditorium erupts in confused murmurs. Professor Richards, my thesis advisor, steps forward with a hand on my shoulder. Scarlett, what is she talking about? I open my mouth, but no words come out. My parents are in the third row, Mum covering her face, Dad staring at his shoes. They're not even looking at me. Check the timestamps! Penelope shrieks as security finally pulls her back. Check her sources! She's a fraud! The dean clears his throat into the recovered microphone. Please remain calm. We will need to temporarily pause this portion of the ceremony while we address this serious accusation. Miss Ramirez, please step backstage. My legs move automatically. The other graduates part like I'm contagious. Someone whispers, "Holy shit," as I pass. Backstage, Professor Richards and 2 administrators huddle around me. Their words blur together. Investigation, academic integrity, temporary hold, serious allegations. I didn't steal anything, I finally managed to say. I wrote every word myself. I can prove it. We'll need to review everything, the dean says. Your degree will be held pending a full investigation. I'm sorry, but we have to take these accusations seriously. Through the curtain, I hear the ceremony awkwardly resuming. My name won't be called. My moment is gone. My phone buzzes. Savannah, my roommate. OMG, are you okay? I'm waiting outside. Another text from my mother. How could you do this to your sister? I want to scream. 4 years of perfect grades, 3 jobs to pay tuition, countless all-nighters, all destroyed because my sister decided to nuke my graduation day with a lie. Scarlett? Professor Richards touches my arm. Do you need someone to drive you home? No. My voice sounds distant. I'm fine. I walk out a side door, dodging concerned looks from faculty. Savannah runs up to hug me, but I wave her off. Not now, please. But what happened? Why would Penelope? I don't know. The sun is too bright. My graduation robe is suffocating. I need to think. I see Penelope across the quad, surrounded by my parents and other relatives. She's crying dramatically while Mum strokes her hair. Dad catches my eye for a moment, then looks away. My phone keeps buzzing. Social media is probably exploding already. Tomorrow, this will be all over campus. The crazy graduation ceremony where one sister accused another of theft. But they don't know my sister like I do. This isn't random. Penelope doesn't do anything without calculation, without purpose. She chose this moment specifically to hurt me, to humiliate me when I was supposed to be celebrating my biggest achievement. I duck into the library bathroom and lock myself in a stall. My hands are shaking as I pull out my phone. I open a new browser tab and type, "Private investigator near me." The first result is for someone named Maurizio Burton. His website looks dated, but mentions 30 years of experience and a specialty in academic fraud cases. Perfect. I click Call Now before I can change my mind. A gruff voice answers on the second ring. Burton Investigations. Hi. I take a deep breath. My name is Scarlett. I need help proving my sister is lying about me stealing her thesis. How soon can we meet? There's a pause. Interesting. You're the graduation case from this morning? News travels fast. In this town, like wildfire. He sighs. Come by my office at 4 p.m. Bring everything you have about your thesis. And Scarlett? Yes, be prepared. Digging into family secrets usually reveals things you wish you hadn't found. I end the call and stare at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. My graduation cap is crooked, my mascara is smeared, but my eyes are clear and focused. "Game on, Penelope," I whisper. "You want to play dirty? Let's play." Mauricio's office smells like old coffee and cigarettes. He's nothing like I expected, shorter, older, with kind eyes that contrast his gruff voice. The wall behind his desk is covered in newspaper clippings and faded photographs. "Start from the beginning," he says, clicking his pen. "Not just today. Tell me about your relationship with your sister." I fidget with my graduation tassel still hanging from my purse. "We were never close. Penelope was the golden child, straight A's, science fairs, debate team captain. I was quieter." "Were your parents involved in academics?" "No, Dad's a mechanic, Mum's a nurse. They pushed us both to excel, but Penelope was always—" I pause, remembering a specific moment. "When I was 12, I won first place in a writing competition. Penelope told everyone I'd copied my story from a book she'd read. My parents made me forfeit the prize." Maurizio leans forward. "Did you copy it?" "No, but they believed her without question. They always did." He scribbles something in his notepad. "And your thesis? What's it about?" I pull out my laptop, opening files. "Cognitive patterns in childhood trauma survivors. I studied how early experiences shape decision-making in adults. Everything's documented, research notes, drafts, meeting logs with Professor Richards." "Your sister's thesis?" "Similar field but different focus. She studied manipulation tactics in family dynamics." I laugh bitterly. Ironic, right? Mauricio's phone buzzes. He glances at it, then turns the screen toward me. It's a news alert about the graduation incident. "You're trending," he says. "Local news picked it up. Your sister's given 2 interviews already." My stomach lurches. "What's she saying?" "That she caught you accessing her laptop last month, claims you copied her work and rushed to submit it first." He studies my reaction. "Did you?" "No, I haven't even seen her in person for over a year. We're completely estranged." "Good, that's helpful." He types something on his computer. "I'm going to need access to everything. Your research timeline, email correspondence, any witnesses who saw you working on this." I nod, pulling out a USB drive. "It's all here. I've backed up everything since this morning." "Smart girl." He plugs in the drive. "Now about my fee." A knock interrupts us. A young woman pokes her head in, Mauricio's assistant probably. "Sir, you need to see this. Someone just sent us an interesting tip about the sister." Mauricio takes the paper she hands him. His eyebrows raise slightly as he reads. "What is it?" I ask. "Your sister's ex-boyfriend, Gavin, says he has information about her academic history, wants to meet." He looks at me. "Ring any bells?" "Gavin? They dated during her master's program. It ended badly. She claimed he was jealous of her success." "Well, he seems eager to talk." Mauricio hands me the paper. There's an email address and phone number. Sometimes scorned lovers make the best witnesses. My phone buzzes. Another text from Mum. "Please call us. We need to talk about making this right." I silence the phone. "How long will this take?" "The investigation." "Depends what we find. But Scarlett," his expression softens, "based on 30 years of experience, when someone makes a public accusation this dramatic, they're usually trying to cover something up." "Like what?" "That's what we're going to find out." He turns back to his computer. "I'll start with her academic records. You reach out to Gavin. Carefully, don't mention me yet." I stand to leave, but pause at the door. "Mauricio, why did you take my case so quickly?" He glances at a photo on his desk. A young woman in graduation robes smiling. Let's just say I understand family betrayal. Go home, try to rest. This is going to get worse before it gets better. Outside, the summer air feels thick. My phone has 17 missed calls, parents, relatives, even local reporters. I open my messages and find Gavin's number from the tip sheet. "Hi Gavin," I type. "I heard you might know something about Penelope's academic work. I'd love to talk." His response comes instantly. "Finally, I've been waiting for someone to expose her. Coffee tomorrow? There's a lot you need to know about your sister's research methods." I stare at his message, heart pounding. "I'm free at 10 a.m, I reply. Walking home, I pass the university library, where I spent countless hours writing my thesis. Through the windows, I see students studying, completely unaware of the drama unfolding around them. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Mauricio. "Check your email. Just found something interesting in your sister's master's thesis. Looks like Bulgaria has some similar research." "Holy shit," Savannah whispers, staring at my laptop screen. "The papers are identical, like word-for-word identical in some parts. We're comparing Penelope's thesis with a research paper published by a Bulgarian professor named Ivan Pestrikov 3 years ago. Mauricio sent it over last night, and I haven't slept since." "Look at this paragraph." I highlight a section. She just changed the pronouns and rearranged some sentences. Everything else is copied directly from his work. Savannah grabs her phone. "We need to blast this everywhere. Twitter, Instagram." "No." I close the laptop. "We need to be smarter than that. More strategic." My phone lights up with a text from Gavin. "Just parked. Coming up to the coffee shop now." Penelope's ex-boyfriend looks exactly as I remember. Tall, preppy, with the kind of smile that probably got him out of speeding tickets. He slides into our booth with an iced latte. "Before we start," he says, pulling out his phone, "you need to see these emails." He hands me his phone. There's a long email chain between Penelope and him from last year. My eyes catch certain phrases. "Nobody will find out. Just need to translate it. Delete this conversation." "She was obsessed with getting published," Gavin explains. "Said her career depended on it. Then she found this obscure Eastern European research paper, and—" He shrugs. "I tried to talk her out of it." "Why are you showing me this now?" I ask. "Because she did the same thing to me." His smile fades. "When I threatened to report her, she told everyone I was stalking her. Got me blacklisted from 3 research programs." Savannah leans forward. "We need to expose her." "Not on social media," I say quickly. "That's too obvious, too traceable." "Reddit," Savannah suggests. "Anonymous post. Let it spread organically." I think about it. Reddit loves justice porn, especially academic scandal stories. If we frame it right, back at our apartment, Savannah helps me create a burner account while I draft the post. The title: "My sister accused me of plagiarism, but here's the truth she hid first." I detail everything: the graduation ceremony ambush, Penelope's public accusations, then the discovery of her own plagiarism. I include screenshots of the Bulgarian paper, side-by-side comparisons, and Gavin's emails with personal details redacted. "Add this," Savannah says, typing, "TLDR, sister publicly accused me of stealing her thesis to cover up her own plagiarism of an Eastern European researcher's work. Here's proof." My finger hovers over the post button. What if this backfires? "She already nuked your reputation," Savannah reminds me. "What's left to lose?" I click post. Within minutes, there are comments. Within hours, thousands of upvotes. By evening, it's trending on Reddit's front page. "Holy shit," Savannah breathes, refreshing the page. 200,000 upvotes. People are going crazy for this. Comments flood in. "This is better than Netflix drama." "Your sister is pure evil. Someone send this to the university board." My phone rings. Maurizio. "It's spreading," he says without greeting. "Local news picked up the Reddit post. University forums are exploding. Your sister's department is reviewing the situation." Is this bad? No, this is exactly what we needed. Public pressure forces action. But Scarlett, his voice turns serious, be careful, your sister's going to retaliate when she sees this. As if on cue, my inbox pings with a new message. Anonymous sender. "You're not the first person she tried to ruin. There are more of us. Want to talk?" I forward it to Maurizio, hands shaking. Another message pops up. This one from Professor Richards. "Scarlett, the board is meeting tomorrow morning. They've seen the Reddit post. Bring everything you have. It's time to clear your name." I close my laptop and look at Savannah. Think this will work? She shows me her phone. Stunt thesis. Thief is trending locally on Twitter. Someone's already made memes about Penelope. "Oh, it's working," she grins. "The internet loves taking down frauds. By tomorrow, everyone will know exactly who the real plagiarist is." My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. I open the text. "You little bitch, you have no idea what you just started." P. I show Savannah the message. She grabs her keys. "Time to go buy security cameras," she says. "Something tells me this is about to get ugly." The university boardroom feels like a courtroom. 8 stern faces stare at me from behind a curved table while Professor Richards sits supportively at my side. "Miss Ramirez," the dean begins, "in light of recent online developments, we've expedited this investigation." I place my laptop, USB drives and research notebooks on the table. I have everything documented, every draft, every source. The door bursts open. A woman in a crisp suit strides in. "I'm Amanda Wells, representing Penelope Ramirez. My client demands this meeting be postponed until—" "Your client," Professor Richards interrupts, "is not the subject of this particular meeting. We're here to review Scarlett's work." The lawyer's heels click as she approaches the table. Given the serious allegations of plagiarism— "Yes," I say loudly, "let's discuss plagiarism." I open my laptop. Specifically, let's compare my sister's thesis with Dr. Pestrakov's original research. The room goes quiet. The lawyer's face tightens. "Yeah, I have his paper here," I continue, turning the screen toward the board. "Published 3 years ago in Bulgaria. Notice any similarities?" Professor Richards stands, distributing printed copies. I've highlighted the matching passages. Over 60% of Penelope's thesis appears to be directly translated from this work. The dean adjusts his glasses, frowning at the papers. "Ms. Wells, are you aware of these similarities?" The lawyer's phone buzzes. She glances at it, then pales slightly. "I need to consult with my client." "Of course you do," I say. "She's probably watching that journalist's live stream right now." Everyone turns to me. "Trinity Montgomery," I explain. "She's doing a live report outside about academic fraud. It's trending." The board members pull out their phones, checking. The dean's expression darkens. "Miss Wells," he says, "please inform your client that we'll need to speak with her. Immediately." The lawyer hurries out. Professor Richards squeezes my shoulder. "Scarlett," the dean continues, "regarding your thesis, we've thoroughly reviewed it. The work is clearly original. Your degree will be reinstated with honours." Relief floods through me, but it's not over. My phone lights up with a text from Maurizio. "Turn on the local news. Now." A board member already has it streaming on his tablet. Trinity Montgomery stands outside the university gates, microphone in hand. "Sources reveal a pattern of academic dishonesty spanning years. Multiple former colleagues have come forward claiming Penelope Ramirez routinely stole research." The dean mutes it. "This is becoming a significant PR issue." "I didn't contact the media," I say quickly. "And no," Professor Richard smiles, but Reddit did. Your post has over 500,000 views now. Twitter's calling it /thesis gate. My phone buzzes again. Savannah. OMG Channel 5 just showed up at our apartment building. Penelope's here too, having a meltdown in the parking lot. Excuse me, I stand quickly. I need to go. Outside, campus is buzzing. Students point phones at me, whispering. I hear fragments. That's her... the sister. Reddit post? Mauricio's waiting in his car. Need a ride? Might want to avoid your apartment for a bit. I climb in. How bad is it? Your sister's threatening lawsuits against everyone. You, the university, the media. But he hands me his tablet. Look who just emailed me. The sender, Ivan Pestrikov. Dear Mr. Burton, I read aloud. I was unaware my research had been plagiarized. I am willing to provide a statement and pursue legal action. Game over, Mauricio says. Once the original author gets involved, there's no way out. My phone rings. Mom. I decline it. They're still taking her side, I say, even with all this evidence. Family's complicated. Mauricio turns onto a side street. But right now, you need to lay low. Let the storm hit her, not you. Another text from Savannah. Penelope's giving an interview in the parking lot. She's crying about how you're trying to destroy her life, playing victim hard. I close my eyes. Take me to your office. I need to prepare for whatever she does next. Smart girl. He glances at me. But Scarlett, remember, when cornered animals are most dangerous. My phone pings with a news alert. Academic scandal grows. More victims come forward. I know, I say, watching the city blur past, but I'm done being her victim. It's her turn to feel exposed. Mauricio nods grimly. Just remember, revenge is like a boomerang. Make sure you're ready when it comes back around. We're live in 5 minutes, Trinity says, adjusting my microphone. Just remember, stick to facts. Let her dig her own grave. I'm sitting in Channel 5 studio, about to give my first television interview. Across town, Penelope is simultaneously appearing on our rival station, probably spinning more lies. Rolling in 3, 2, 1. Tonight, we're joined by Scarlett, the student at the centre of what social media has dubbed a thesis gate. Trinity begins. Scarlett, walk us through what happened. I take a deep breath. I was receiving my honours degree when my sister publicly accused me of stealing her work. Within days, evidence emerged that she had actually plagiarised her own thesis from a Bulgarian researcher. And how did you discover this? I hired a private investigator. The truth wasn't hard to find. She'd barely changed the original text. My phone vibrates. Mauricio. Penelope's claiming the Bulgarian paper was collaborative research. Pestrikov is livid. Trinity leans forward. We've received reports of other academic improprieties in your sister's past. Can you comment? Multiple people have come forward, I say carefully. Former classmates, colleagues, even her ex-boyfriend. It seems this wasn't an isolated incident. The studio door bursts open. Mum storms in, Dad trailing behind her. Stop the interview, she shouts. My daughter is being manipulated. Security, Trinity calls, but I raise my hand. Let them stay, I say. Maybe they should hear this too. Scarlett, Dad pleads, you're destroying your sister's career, her whole life. No, I face them directly, camera still rolling. She destroyed her own life when she chose to cheat, and you enabled her just like you always have. Mum starts crying. We just wanted to protect her. I stand up. What about protecting me? Where were you when she tried to destroy my graduation, my career? Trinity's producer is frantically signalling to keep rolling. This is ratings gold. You always believed her lies, I continue. When she framed me for cheating in high school, when she sabotaged my college applications, every time you took her side without question. We didn't know, Dad starts. Because you never asked, my voice breaks. You never once asked my side of the story. My phone buzzes again. Savannah, OMG, turn on Channel 8 now. Trinity's producer quickly switches one of the monitors. There's Penelope, mascara running, having a complete meltdown on live TV. It was collaborative research, she's screaming. That Bulgarian professor agreed to... this is all a conspiracy against me. The host looks uncomfortable. We have Dr. Pestrikov joining us via video call to address that claim. Penelope's face goes white as an elderly man appears on screen. I have never collaborated with this woman, he says firmly. I have never communicated with her. She stole my work, plain and simple. Penelope rips off her microphone and runs off set. Back in our studio, my parents watch in horror. Still want to defend her? I ask quietly. Mum sinks into a chair. She was always so brilliant. No, I say, she was always so convincing. There's a difference. My phone lights up with notifications. The university has officially revoked Penelope's degrees. Her current institution has placed her on administrative leave. Academic journals are retracting her publications. Scarlett, Trinity says softly, we're still live. Would you like to make a final statement? I look directly into the camera. To everyone who's ever been gaslit, falsely accused, or made to doubt their own truth, keep fighting. Evidence doesn't lie. People do. Security finally arrives to escort my parents out. Dad turns back one last time. We should have listened, he says. I'm sorry we didn't believe you. It's too late for sorry, I reply. Some things can't be fixed with an apology. After they leave, Trinity ends the broadcast. That was intense. Are you okay? I check my phone. Maurizio. Penelope's lawyer just quit. She's threatening to sue everyone, including your parents now. This is about to get uglier. No, I tell Trinity. I'm not okay, but for the first time in my life, I'm being heard. That's worth everything. Outside the studio, reporters are gathering. Through the window, I see Savannah pulling up in her car for our escape. The truth is out. The damage is done. But somehow, this doesn't feel like victory. It feels like the calm before an even bigger storm. Professor Richard's office feels like a bunker of calm in the storm. She pours tea while I scroll through the morning's headlines. Academic scandal widens. Sister versus sister, the viral thesis war. Prestigious university revokes degrees. Your sister's previous institution is launching a full investigation, she says, handing me a cup. They're reviewing everything she's ever published. Have you heard from her? No, but she hesitates, pulling out a folder. I found something interesting in our archives. A complaint filed against Penelope during her undergraduate years. It was buried. I open the folder. Inside is a formal letter from a student claiming Penelope stole their research data. The complaint is dated 6 years ago. What happened to this student? Transferred suddenly. Their family moved across the country. Professor Richard sips her tea. Very generous scholarship at their new school, apparently. Our parents, I whisper. They paid them off. Most likely. She leans forward. Scarlett, there's something else. I've been going through your childhood records. A knock interrupts us. It's Gavin, looking anxious. Sorry to barge in, but you need to see this. He pulls out his phone, showing us a video. It's security footage from a campus library, dated 3 years ago. Penelope is clearly visible, sneaking into a professor's office late at night. Where did you get this? The library archivist was my friend. She kept copies of everything just in case. He runs a hand through his hair. There's more. Way more. My phone buzzes. Maurizio. Found your old high school records. The classmate Penelope accused of cheating, currently working at Google, wants to talk. Professor Richards touches my arm. Are you ready to hear how deep this goes? I nod, but my hands are shaking. The next hour is a blur of revelations. The high school victim, now a successful tech executive, sends documentation proving Penelope framed her. The library archivist forwards years of suspicious footage. 3 more former classmates email detailed accounts of academic sabotage. It wasn't just plagiarism, Gavin explains. It was systematic. She'd destroy anyone who threatened her success. But why, I ask? She was smart enough to succeed on her own. Professor Richards pulls out one final document, my elementary school records. Look at your test scores, she says softly. From 3rd grade, you scored higher than her in every subject. That's impossible. Penelope was the genius. No, she was the performer. You were the natural talent. She points to a note in the margin. Your parents had you tested for gifted programs. Then suddenly they withdrew you, started focusing entirely on Penelope instead. My head spins. They held me back on purpose? To protect her ego, probably. Gavin scrolls through more evidence on his laptop. Classic, narcissistic family dynamic. They needed her to be the star. My phone rings. It's Savannah. You need to come home, now. What's wrong? Penelope's here. She's different, crying, says she needs to tell you something important. Professor Richards grabs my arm. Don't go alone. I'll drive you, Gavin offers, but I'm already standing. No, this needs to be just us, sister to sister. Scarlett, Professor Richards calls as I reach the door. Remember what you wrote in your thesis about trauma responses? Sometimes the people who hurt us the most are fighting their own battles. Outside, campus is quiet. The media frenzy has temporarily died down. My phone shows dozens of missed calls from my parents, but one new text from Mauricio catches my eye. Found your sister's childhood psychiatric records. You're not going to believe this. I get in my car, hands steady on the wheel. 6 years of therapy taught me one thing. Sometimes the hardest truth to face is the one that explains everything. As I drive home, memories flash through my mind. Penelope ripping up my art projects, telling me I was stupid, making sure I never outshined her. All while our parents watched and smiled, proud of their competitive daughters. Savannah texts again. She's still here. Keeps saying she never meant for this to happen. I park outside our apartment building. Through the window, I can see Penelope pacing, mascara streaked down her face. Time to hear the truth she's been hiding all these years, even if it breaks us both. Savannah squeezes my hand before leaving the apartment. I'll be right downstairs if you need me. Penelope stands by the window, her designer outfit wrinkled, hair a mess. She looks smaller somehow, deflated. They're retracting all my papers, she says without turning around. Every single one. Did you steal all of them? Most? She laughs hollowly. Some I only partially plagiarized. Does that make it better? I sit on the couch, maintaining distance. Why are you here? Because it's over. She finally faces me. Everything I built, everything I pretended to be, it's gone, and you did that. You did that, I correct her, the moment you decided to attack me at graduation. I had to, she slumps against the wall. You were going to outshine me, again, just like when we were kids. What are you talking about? You were the star. Was I? Her voice cracks. Do you remember 3rd grade? Your IQ test? My heart stops. How do you know about that? I found the results in Dad's office. You scored higher than me, much higher. She wipes her eyes. They were going to put you in advanced programs. You would have skipped grades, gotten scholarships. But they didn't, because I told them not to. She's crying now. I screamed and cried until they agreed to keep you in regular classes, to focus on me instead. The room spins. You were 8 years old, and already terrified of being second best. She pulls out a crumpled paper, my old test results. They gave me everything after that. Extra tutoring, special programs, all the attention. But it was never enough, because deep down I knew. Knew what? That you were the truly gifted one. You just understood things effortlessly. While I stayed up all night studying, memorizing, trying to prove I deserved the spotlight they gave me, I stand up, anger rising. So you sabotaged me for years because you were jealous of a third-grade test. I sabotaged you because I couldn't bear to be invisible. She steps forward. Do you know what it's like to know everything you've achieved is built on lies? To wake up every day terrified someone will discover you're a fraud. You made yourself a fraud, I say coldly. You chose to cheat instead of actually learning. Because learning was hard, because no matter how much I studied, it never came naturally like it did for you. She grabs my arm. I saw your thesis, Scarlett. It was brilliant, original, everything mine wasn't. I shake her off. So you tried to destroy it. I panicked. She sinks onto the couch. When I saw your name on the graduation honours list, something snapped. I couldn't let you have that moment. Couldn't let everyone see. See what? That your little sister succeeded honestly while you built a career on lies. That I'm not special, she screams. That I never was. That our parents poured everything into the wrong daughter. Silence falls. Outside, a car alarm chirps. You know what's sad? I say quietly. We could have both been special, could have supported each other instead of competing. But you chose this. I know. She stands, gathering her purse. And now I've lost everything. My degrees, my job, my reputation. She laughs bitterly. Even Mum and Dad finally see me for what I am. A fraud. A failure. She reaches the door, then turns. I am sorry, Scarlett. Not for what I did. I'm too broken to feel that kind of remorse yet. But I'm sorry you had to have me as a sister. She leaves before I can respond. Through the window, I watch her walk to her car, shoulders slumped. My phone buzzes. Mauricio. You okay? No, I text back, but I finally understand. Understanding doesn't mean forgiving, he replies. I look at the crumpled test results Penelope left behind. Proof of a moment that changed both our lives when a gifted 8-year-old chose destruction over being second best. You're right, I text Mauricio. Some things don't deserve forgiveness. Through the window, I watch Penelope's car disappear into the night, taking our shared delusions with it. The book deal offer sits unopened in my email. 3 publishers are bidding for my story, promising 6-figure advances. Trinity calls daily about exclusive interviews. Even Netflix has reached out. You should do it, Savannah says, bringing me coffee on our balcony. Tell your story your way. I shake my head, watching the sunrise over campus. I'm done telling this story. My phone buzzes. Professor Richards. Board meeting in an hour. Big news. The university halls are quieter now. Students still whisper when I pass, but the chaos has settled. Outside the boardroom, Mauricio waits. Ready for this? He asks. Is anyone ever ready for closure? Inside, the board members sit with unusually bright expressions. Professor Richards beams. Scarlett, the dean begins, in light of recent events, we've made some decisions. First, we're establishing a new ethics oversight committee. We'd like you to serve as student representative. I blink. Me? Your thesis on trauma responses has gained significant attention. Professor Richards adds. Several institutions are interested in funding expanded research. And, the dean continues, we're creating a scholarship, the Academic Integrity Grant, inspired by your courage in coming forward. My throat tightens. I didn't do this for recognition. No, Mauricio says softly, you did it for truth. That's why it matters. After the meeting, Mauricio drives me to his office one last time. His walls are bare now, retirement finally happening. Before I go, he says, pulling out a photo, I want you to meet someone. The picture shows a young woman in graduation robes. Your daughter? Sarah. His voice roughens. She killed herself after her research advisor stole her work and destroyed her reputation. I couldn't prove it in time. Suddenly, his investment in my case makes sense. That's why you helped me. That's why I needed you to win. He hands me an envelope. My final bill. Inside is a single paper. Amount due, $0. Payment received, justice served. My phone buzzes. Mom, please come home. We need to talk. Don't go, Mauricio warns. I have to. One last time. My childhood home looks smaller. Dad's garage is closed. Mum's garden overgrown. They sit at the kitchen table, aged decades in weeks. We saw Penelope's psychiatric evaluation, Mum says, from when she was 8. The one showing her extreme narcissistic tendencies. I sit across from them. Or the one showing how your enabling made it worse. Dad flinches. We thought we were helping her. By hurting me. By giving her what she demanded. Mum pushes forward a stack of papers. Your old schoolwork, art projects, things Penelope destroyed that we pretended not to notice. We failed you both, Dad says. Her by indulging her darkness. You by dimming your light. I stand. I'm not here for apologies. Then why? To return these. I place 2 house keys on the table. I'm done pretending we're a family. Scarlett, please. No. My voice is steady. Family doesn't sacrifice one child for another's ego. Family doesn't watch abuse and call it rivalry. Family believes you. Outside, Savannah waits in her car. Through the window, I see my parents crying. You okay? She asks as I buckle up. Actually, yes. I delete the publisher's email without opening it. I don't need to sell my story or get revenge anymore. Living well is enough. Speaking of living well, she grins. That cute grad student from neuroscience asked about you again. My phone shows one final text from Maurizio. Sarah would be proud of you. I know I am. I look back at my childhood home, then forward at the setting sun. Sometimes winning isn't about destroying your enemy. Sometimes it's about refusing to let them destroy who you really are. Let's get coffee, I tell Savannah. I hear the neuroscience department has a fascinating new research grant. She laughs, turning up the radio. As we drive away, I feel lighter. The truth cost me a sister and parents, but it gave me something better. Freedom to finally be myself.